Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Apple report for Thursday, March 7th, 2024. Let's take a look at the charts. Just to update you, we clearly violated this channel top this week at 174.36. It is part of a range of resistance that's primarily at 174.94. The same formation, a similar formation on the daily chart is at 174.94. So 174 handle resistance, a ceiling of resistance, sellable resistance below which over the next 2 to 3 weeks, possibly 2 to 3 days, given presently heightened volatility, we should fall. It's not so much this area that I'm looking at. It is this channel support on the same weekly chart at 166.93. I've got 166.87, 166.35, all kinds of things going on. The daily chart is 166.87, that same formation I showed you on the weekly chart. You also have a descending channel bottom at 166.35. This area, if tested today, and it may well be, able to absorb selling not only through March, but even perhaps through the second quarter. This is a big foothold of support longer term for Apple. And if we were to close the week Friday below this classic channel bottom by a full 1% margin, and we'll give you that number, it'll be 1.67 really, minus 166.93, that would then indicate longer term bearish continuation. Now, on an intra-week basis, it is late in the week, and so it becomes a little difficult here to sort of dice this up. But if we break, for instance, 166.35 today, we could fall into this 162.55 to 163.96 region today. And if we make a bit of a comeback on Friday, and all we have to do is really close at the 166.93 formation on Friday, we are in a stable bottom-picking dynamic as we move through the second quarter and into the later year. But if we do close the week Friday below 166.93 by a full 1% margin, yes, we can hesitate next week in this 162 handle support, but I do think a full unwinding back into the 130s, 140s would be likely over the next few months. So that would be a sell signal event through the second quarter if we close this week Friday below 166.93 by a full 1% margin. That would also take us below these structures here on the daily chart. So there you have it. That is the big picture. And there's your 174.94 descending channel bottom on the daily chart. 174.36 is once again this descending channel top on the weekly chart. And so, we have this area of resistance, if tested, can absorb buying through next week. And once tested, we could fall back into the 166 handle. For those of you who trade kind of the 1 to 2 week, 3 to 5 day, 1 to 2 week swing trade, it really is buying 166 handle support and selling 174 handle resistance. And that really, there's nothing more to say about that. A lot of minor points strewn about, the most notable of which I think is Wednesday's high. This is the move low so far, and for the day it has meaning. In other words, we could break to a new low today, that is Thursday, and if we wind up closing the day above 171.24, that is a key reversal low, a buy signal event, at least short term. That should yield at least the 174 handle within a day or two, or just merely closing today without taking out a new low, merely closing today above 171.24 does indicate this 174 handle resistance probably tomorrow, Friday. So, I kind of grappled with whether to consider 171.24 a level clearly able to contain daily buying pressures, and it may. There's part of me that really wants to reduce it to an intraday level because of heightened volatility. But I will say that closing above 171.24 does indicate a good weekly low. And we should then tomorrow reach into that 174 handle resistance where the market encounters meaningful resistance, a meaningful ceiling of resistance. I'm going to put it into proper context. Because this was considered long-term support at one point, I'm going to call it near-term 3-star weekly resistance now. Able to contain buying through next week, 174.94, and below which the 166 handle long-term support remains a 1 to 2 week target. Let's keep that within probably 1 to 2 days, so long as we continue unable to close above the previous session's high, as long as it's a move low session, if you catch my drift on that. So, once again, I've outlined the sell signal event as we move into the later second quarter, and that would be a settlement below the 166 handle support, better shown here on the weekly chart at 166.93. And upside, we have resistance in the 174 handle, very tradable. And now I'm kind of going through this painstaking, walking you through this process, because yes, if we close above 174.94, and it's not going to happen today, but if we do over the next 3 to 5 days, that neutralizes any expectations that I've had for 166.87. Presently holding below 174.94, I do maintain a 166.87 1 to 2 week target that may actually be realized today. But if we close above 174.94, no good reason to play the short side down to 166.87. But we also then have a descending speed line at 178.60 that we would then contend with. So you are selling 174 handle resistance 1 to 2 week swing traders back into the 166 handle. And in terms of going long as we move through the rest of March and into early April, that would clearly present itself above 178.60. So, as we continue over the next couple of weeks, this area does narrow, and we'll just take it day by day. And sometimes these things all come together for convenience, and other times you just have to put it all together like a puzzle. And right now, I do think selling the 174 handle resistance over the 1 to 2 week time frame is the way to go. And you do not want to be short above 178.60 as we move through the rest of March and into April. I would expect the low 190s then within 2 to 3 weeks of closing above 178.60. So once again, to clarify, we are below the 174 handle resistance, anticipating 166.87, and that is the 1 to 2 week time frame. Closing above 174.94 neutralizes that, but we really don't turn aggressively bullish, in my opinion, until we close above 178.60, which allows for this possible scenario to emerge where over the next few days we close above 174.94, rally for 1 to 3 days up to 178.60, only to fall away again as we move into later March. In other words, I'm not convinced that this market has reversed course as we move through the rest of March and into early April unless we close above 178.60. Buy signal above 178.60. Sell signal below 174.94. And we are in the midst of it right now, expecting the 166 handle. I think I've said all there is to say. I don't really have any intraday pivot points in here in the minor points, but they've all been carefully chosen, very well suited for aggressive day traders. The key point today to trade off of and to view really is 171.24. If you are short for over the last couple of days, anticipating the 166.87 level, and we close above 171.24, just know that we're likely to rally back into the 174 handle tomorrow. So 171.24 is a pivot point over the 1 to 2 day time frame, below which we should continue south over the next day or two to this objective at 166.87. I am going to leave it at that. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. We put out 2 stock picks a week. We've already done one this week on the Dollar Tree. Last week was Google and Macy's. We also do daily triple Q and daily SPY analysis. You can see it all for free. You get a 5-day free trial up front when you sign up for wickedstocks.com. And if you don't like what you see, you can bow out at no cost to you whatsoever. So check out wickedstocks.com. I'll be back tomorrow, Friday, I'll be back tomorrow with Apple. I will be back tomorrow with Friday's Apple report. You have a great evening.